Hi everyone, Dark17 here for this week's review on One Piece Chapter 725, titled The Undefeated Woman, Rebecca, by the way, in case any of you didn't know. First page, one of the best cover pages I've seen in a long time, because to me, like the adventures of Caribou and his little brother, like I don't give a rat's ass. I never did. Except, I mean, I always read them, but I just usually skim through them. Until today, when I saw that dinosaur. X Drake. That's it. The first thing I thought about. Is that X Drake? And the fact that he was attacking Caribou, does that mean that he's potentially working with Kaido? Why would he? He's a supernova. Former Marine on top of it. That is interesting. That is a good way to start the chapter, Oda. I like that. Very good. I mean, it's Oda, obviously. What's there to expect? The chapter starts off, and Doflamingo is getting angrier and angrier and angrier, and it's kind of getting annoying. But one funny thing happened in the first page. Law makes Jola, the fat art bitch, get off the field with his room, and it makes it look like she's running away. And he's like, "Oh, so you're only good for running away? Huh? Oh no, I would serve you." And yeah, bullshit. And then we cut to the Straw Hats on the Sunny, and Nami is telling us how she's going to use the clouds. Her gust attack to blow the clouds away, so Don Flamingo can't follow them after. And then, while everyone's wondering where Law is, Momonosuke is like crying in a corner because of how afraid he is of Don Flamingo. And then it goes to a flashback of why he's afraid of this guy, and because of like how he witnessed prior to even Punk Hazard, before they got separated. He got separated from his father and from what's his name, the other dude. Anyway, I'm gonna remember in a bit. And we see that Doflamingo is like drowning this guy in like water, and he's like, I guess it was his subordinate or something, and obviously this guy did something bad. And like the worst part is like Doflamingo is getting more and more sadistic as the time passes. I liked this guy because he was a badass villain. I'm starting to like him a little less because of his sadisticness. I guess that's what it means to be a pirate, and possibly why, and the fact that he was a Terryun Bito, Terryun, Celestial Dragon. The fact that it was a Celestial Dragon also might add to that effect of him being a sadistic retard. Anyway, we see a small outline of their friend, Kanjuro, right? Who looks kind of like girly, actually, the first time I saw him, but whatever. Could be a Okama. Who knows? So where did Doflamingo put him? We find out that he was captured and by Doflamingo, or by Doflamingo's gang or whatever. But where did Doflamingo put him? We know he didn't put him in the Colosseum. We haven't seen him yet. Even if he is there, we haven't seen him yet. Is he in the castle dungeon? Potentially. We don't know. Anyways, after this flashback, there's a little like comedy scene with Sanji and Momonosuke, and it's like, how can you still be so calm and like have that weird face? I thought that was pretty funny. Then after that, excuse me, it cuts to Violet and how she wants to kill a particular someone that resides in the castle. Now, who could it be? We don't know. It could be her superior, a man that deceived her. We don't know yet. So that's a good question that Oda's making us. It's a good setup for that Oda. That's what I like about Oda. He sets up a lot, and it's never useless. His chapters are never useless. Rarely useless, I should say. Then, while Violet is like riding away on this horse and she destroys the screen, Zoro and Kinemon meet up with Bartolomeo, who's like standing at the top of the Colosseum thingy. And he's stumbling for words as he agrees to help Zoro and Kinemon get Luffy in exchange, not for money, not for dinner, for an autograph. Really. On top of it, he goes, even if it costs me my life. What is he gonna, if he like interrupts the tournament, I'm gonna lol so hard. Anyway, then we cut to the Coliseum where the fight with Rebecca, Block D or Block C, I don't remember now. Block C is going on, and Rebecca is actually holding her own. And this is where we find out how she is such a good fighter. Is because she doesn't, what I can get from this is she doesn't, what we see is she keeps kicking people out. She like pulls her attack, like the guy attacks her, like she slightly dodges it, uses their own strength against them and throws them off. Which I think is very interesting because like that she conserves energy. And in case she comes up with a guy like versus a guy like the Rolling Logan that you see after this, she'll be able to focus more of her energy on this guy and get rid of like the weaker guys first. You know what I mean? I love how she just goes, "Whoops, you little bitch!" She's about to grab his axe. How about no? Again, like that was pretty funny. Because of this, though, she must have some kind of observation hockey because in order for her to read people's moves, she has to be able to tell where the person is coming from. You know what I mean? It makes it easier for her to avoid undefeated woman and so on and so forth. Then we are introduced to Rolling Logan, this fat tub of lard who looks like he wants to rape poor Rebecca. I was like, those words, those choice of words, bones and shit. Yeah, okay. Then we cut to one of the losers in the previous bracket, and he's being sent for a checkup. But instead, it seems that he gets sent down into like a tube, and he ends up what I think is under the Coliseum, where all the losers are. Much like when Luffy and Rebecca were waiting for the next round to start or whatever. They saw like guys all in chains, all in caves, not caves, all in like jail cells. I think that they're in a similar kind of situation. What is this for exactly? Like, obviously it's not a checkup. They're obviously being put there for a reason. Experimentation, toy development, like God knows what it is. But what is this for? Another good setup question. The fact that Oda gave us their name, for example, Cavendish and so on and so forth, Dong Jingzhao, must mean that they're going to be useful later on. Somehow, perhaps a new type of Impel Down breakout with the Straw Hats. That would be cool. Or maybe, anyway, who knows? Would have really loved to see more Law and Flamingo in this chapter as opposed to all this other stuff. I mean, it's great. But one thing I don't like about Oda sometimes, any writer that does this, do not cut from one fight to another too much. Because sometimes I agree, it is important. It is important because it builds suspense. But the fact that he does like one chapter, and then we wait 5 chapters, and then he puts the chapter again, it's kind of annoying. I don't like that. But it's okay. I mean, we had good setup in exchange for it, which is, I'll take it. But I would have much preferred to see Law versus Flamingo. I don't know about you guys, but I would have much rather liked to see it. Law also mentions at the beginning, I forgot to mention, that he's fighting for a he. Who's the he? Wouldn't it be for him? Did he lose a family member or something? What happened? What's the story? I'm curious to know what this 13-year-old story with Flamingo is. Anyways, good setup for future chapters. Lots of setup. I like it. Not a wasted character, which is good. Well, that's what it looks like for now. Overall rating, 8 on 10. Pretty good. Like I said, I would have much preferred to see Law and Doflamingo this time instead of seeing all this mess. So overall, a good chapter. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you have any questions or whatever comments, please let me know in the comments below, and we can discuss it. I'm always happy to discuss this kind of stuff. And I think that's about it. Have yourselves a great week. I think, like I said, Doflamingo is getting madder and madder. and I think he deserves at this point. You mad, bro. So, anyways, thanks again, guys. Have a great week, and I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.